UAWLPFM 985. And make sure you like, join, and share our Facebook or subscribe to our YouTube page, KUAW. Today we have a guest. He's not actually here yet, but it's going to be Roy Chen's actually running for mayor of Kansas City. So we get to have a conversation with him today and see what's all that about. But until then, I just wanted to get into a couple of things. Did you guys know that there was a shooting at Jay's Catfish on Templeton Prospect? A young guy tried to rob the Jay's Fish and Chicken and shot the worker who was an Indian exchange student attending UMKC. And the police had a shootout with a suspect that they believe was the suspect in that shooting the other day on 40th Highway in Manchester. The guy actually shot 3 of the police officers before they actually took him down. The police officers are said to survive. Unfortunately, the guy didn't. But today I was hearing a lot about people saying that that the police were wrong in the suspect, or that the suspect wasn't the actual guy from the video of the shooting at the Jay's Fish and Chicken. And my thoughts on that is, if he was wrongly suspected, why did he open fire on the police officers? If he didn't have anything to hide, or if he was being wrongly accused, what would make him open fire on the police officers? Not saying that he couldn't have been the wrong suspect. In my mind, it's just, if you were being wrongly accused, what would make you open fire on the police officers if you weren't guilty of anything? And just a lot of people going back and forth. A lot of people like to put a lot of blame on the police officers these days and the things that they do, and try to say they're wrongfully accusing people, or not actually finding the right suspects in some of these things, which could be possible. I mean, we know people make mistakes all the time, and then they all think we all look alike anyway. So
police don't make mistakes.
They do make mistakes. But yeah, so I just, it was just baffling to me, just to see so many people come out and speak about how the police officers had the wrong guy and, everything like that. But in my mind, you guys chime in and let me know what you think too. But in my mind, it's like, what would make the suspect open fire on the guy? I know it's a lot of things that's going on, in our communities here lately, especially with the police and our people. So of course, every time they come across a police officer, they automatically react in a fearful manner, in my mind. But still, if you open fire on the police, they gonna shoot at you. Sometimes they shoot at you without even opening fire on the police. So if you open fire on the police, of course they're gonna shoot at you, and they're not shooting to impair you either. They're shooting to kill you. So they just opened and closed the case in their mind. And then it's like, if that was the wrong guy and they were after him and then they killed him, does that kill their investigation? Because the real suspect could still be at large, could still be out there to, try to rob someone else, to shoot someone else, and then just thinks that he got off scot-free because they didn't kill the wrong person and they didn't open and close the case around the wrong person. So, we have to really be aware of the things that we do in the situations and how we handle situations when coming into those encounters with the police. And what happened? Oh. Okay.
We have a special caller calling in the show. You want to announce them?
Go ahead. Ain't that your job?
Hold it down, T, baby. We on the way. It's bad traffic out here, but I hear you going in, and we're talking about this shooting that happened here recently. I'm just tapping in, so continue with what you're doing. I just want you to know we're here.
Here in spirit. He's here in spirit.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
They gotta tell me this. Watch my face. Watch my facial expressions. And then another thing. Okay, so just to switch up to more positive, a positive matter. So everybody know the In My Feelings challenge, right? You know, with the Kiki, do you love me? And a lot of people are saying they were getting tired of it. But Drake actually gave the guy $250,000. The Shiggy, is that his name? Shaggy. Why? But Drake actually gave the guy $250,000. The Shiggy, is that his name? Shaggy. Why?
That ain't, well, I guess it's nice, but you making millions, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so what you want to give him, drop him off a whole million? He gave him $250,000 and said that he with the In My Feelings challenge with the dance he made.
He tried to hide that kid.
No, he did not try to hide that kid.
He did try to hide that kid.
No, he didn't.
So
we're not gonna get on Drake.
You on Drake's side, not Pusha T?
Yeah, Drake, because Drake didn't have to announce his kid to the world just because he's a figure like that. It don't matter. He didn't have to. And now look at people trolling his son, trying to see his face and all that kind of stuff. Look what they did to Khloe Kardashian daughter. They on there calling the little girl ugly and everything. She's a baby. Like people are not. I'll be honest,
you rock and roll.
Hang up on him.
All right.
People are not nice. I mean, you have internet trolls out here. Like people are just not. They don't really care about the feelings of others or anything like that. You out here calling a little baby ugly. Like, how can you even do that? So, of course, if I was in the public eye like that, I would try to protect my child. Also, I wouldn't put my child. If I was a musician or artist and I'm always out here in the limelight and everything, I'm not just about to share my child with the world.
But
I'm not gonna do that.
You have a child with an adult film star and you're in the middle of a rap beef. Everything's on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's on. But like, and yeah, he was keeping it a secret.
He wasn't. He just didn't tell nobody.
I thought that was what a secret was.
No, I mean, not really. It ain't even like somebody came to an interview and asked him, "Hey, Drake, do you got a son?"
If he had a baby with Serena Williams, that baby would have been.
You don't know that?
I know that.
You don't know that?
I do know that because, like, what was it? He said it took this long because he was waiting for the test and he was trying to get everything clear.
Yeah, I mean, she's a porn star. You wouldn't want to test either? I need a test too. I mean, I'm Drake. I need a test. What you mean? But still at the end of the day, he said he shared it with the people that he felt needed to know. And he has that right. That's just like if I had a baby, I don't have to share it with the world.
Well, you couldn't just like hide it unless you was Cardi for 7 months.
Whatever. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I felt it was nice that he gave that man $250,000 for pushing his song and pushing that challenge. You know, to me, Drake is a really great person, honestly. Like he is. He gave away that God's Plan video. I mean, he gave away all that money. Like he doesn't actually.
What you say? He's like a nice guy. Like
yeah,
cool
that was
dude?
Nice.
All right, do you know like he's known for getting in beefs with people and then getting with they woman?
Okay.
How's that a nice guy though?
I mean, people do that all the time.
All right.
I mean, to me, see, here's the thing. When it comes to like getting with as people want to say like your friends, exes or something like that or whatever, like there's no code to this. Like just because somebody wasn't for you, that don't mean so you want to stop your friend from happiness. Maybe they the person for your friend.
What you mean?
Just because they wasn't for you. That's like if I had an ex-boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
me and him did not work out. Okay, that relationship wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
But later on down the line, one of my friends dated him or decides to date him. I'm not gonna be all.
But it was your friend, and then y'all got into it about something, and then.
What you mean?
Like, say y'all was friends, y'all got.
And they did it deliberately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their karma. I can't worry about other people's karma. People got to deal with their own karma. Yeah, people have to deal with their own karma. You know, like I'm not worried about nobody else's karma. I'm worried about my karma and protecting what I put out there and what comes back to me. Now, what others do, that doesn't concern me because, like I said, that's something that they have to deal with between them and whoever they consider God and who their God is. Not me personally. I can't stand in the way of that. I'm not going to try to interfere in it. I'm not going to try to I'm not try to will and deal it myself, or I'm not here to push karma onto other people or anything like that. Like, I have to live in my truth, and we all have to do that. Like, we have to become more self-aware and self-responsible for our own actions. We can't really depend on the actions of others. We can't really let the actions of others affect how we view ourselves or how we view the world. Like, we have to be to know thyself is more precious than gold. And you have to be able to control your own emotions and control your own reactions to things, instead of, like, you will hear me say, oh, they made me mad. And people will correct me all the time. Like, somebody else can't make you mad. Like, you allow that to happen. You allow yourself to get upset, or you allow yourself to become sad over a situation, or become angry over a situation because of what someone else did. They didn't do it. All they were doing was doing whatever they felt was what they wanted to do. But of course, they wasn't thinking about you. And y'all make sure you guys chime in with me and talk to me. And because I talk back. So, the comments and everything, keep on coming. But yeah, definitely, karma is one of those universal laws that no one is exempt from. So no matter what you do or what others do, you got to know that it's going to be taken care of in a way that only God can take care of it.
Karma.
Yeah.
Pusha T putting the diss.
I don't want to talk about that.
His son. That's karma for all the people that Drake stepped on.
But did it harm? It didn't harm Drake.
It did a little bit.
It really didn't.
He was going to do an Adidas press release and all that, and he ruined this. He ruined that whole thing.
I don't know about all that. I don't even know what you're talking about. So, Adidas press release about what? About his son? Mm-hmm. And that never happened?
Didn't happen.
How do you know he was supposed to do an Adidas press release about his son? Did Adidas say that?
He said everybody.
Did Drake say that?
Everybody said that.
Who was everybody?
Who's everybody?
Did Adidas say that, or did Drake say that?
Did Drake say that? No, Drake didn't say that.
Did Adidas say that? Did a representative from Adidas say
that?
That we're no longer doing that because of Pusha T?
Well, no, white people didn't say that, but like that's what the underground has been saying. The people in the business.
They might not know what they're talking about.
You right. Right.
I know. But no, that's it. To me, that's just they do all that for publicity anyway. Like all those little rap beats and all those things, we can't get caught up in that type of stuff or whatever. All that stuff is for pure entertainment. So it ain't gonna make or break my day. You shouldn't make or break yours either, or nobody else's. They're not just up here crying like, oh, Drake didn't name his son. They said his son was named My Bed anyway, that he'd been talking about him for a long time anyway. Nobody just knew who he was talking about. I don't even know if that's true though, but I don't know. But anyway, universal laws, back to something that really matters. The universal laws of karma. To me, it's important that we as people look into these universal laws, because it's something that a lot of people mention, but they don't really talk about what they are or how to really use them or the effects that they have on our daily lives. And that's why we're stuck into, and I'm not trying to bash Christianity or anything like that, but that's why they're so stuck into praying to someone outside of themselves and looking for someone else to come save them, when really salvation is within. So if you're aware of these universal laws and you know how to maneuver through this life, then you eventually create, hello, Mr. Walker, you eventually create a state of heaven for yourself on earth. So, and that's really mainly the goal. To me, that's the goal of life. That's the science of life, is to figure out these universal laws and make them work for you. Because a lot of people are not aware of what universal laws are actually, and how they affect us. So that's one thing that I encourage everyone listening now on the radio and on Facebook and everything. And if you're aware of some universal laws, go ahead and drop them in the comments for the people to read, so they can research these type of things and come into understanding of what it is. Because, knowledge of something and the understanding of something, once applied knowledge, is what wisdom is. Oh, hold on. Evangelist, no one wants Jesus Christ. Answers are all in the Bible. Sad. I'm not kind of confused about that comment. So you have to clear that out, clear that up for me. Answers are all in the Bible. The Bible does have a lot of truth to it, I'm presuming. That's all I can say on that topic. But yeah. So I'm sorry, trying to get past it without bashing Mr. Walker. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. You know, I don't want to step on anyone's toes or, you know, make anyone upset, because that's definitely not the purpose. And I do want to say before our guests arrives and everything, that we've been having a couple of politicians on the show. I know last week we had Felix Mitchell, and we have a Roy Chin who's running for mayor that's coming on today. And I just want to let you guys know that the truth be told, we're here to put the truth out there for you to be able to make your own decisions. I don't want you guys to think that we're pushing anything on you. We're not pushing for you to vote for a particular person. My whole thing of it is I just want you to be aware and be knowledgeable, do some research on your own, and pick the best candidate that you feel is that fits your lifestyle and portrays more of what you want done in the community. You know, I had seen a post today. A lot of people had this post that say, I love Kansas City, but I can't live in Kansas City. And they understand why they call it Killer City Misery. I don't know if y'all ever heard that nickname for Kansas City. But, I mean, there's killings everywhere. It's not something that you can really get away from. I mean, you can move to one of the nicest places on earth that you feel is the nicest place on earth, and there's probably still going to be some killings. There's probably still going to be some things that you don't like about the city. I love Kansas City. You know, I'm just let y'all know that right now. I did move away from here for a little bit, but I'm back, and I'll probably be moving again at some point in my life. But that's just because we have to broaden our horizons. You know, you can't just stay in one place. Like, I remember when I first moved out of Kansas City, and my mom was kind of upset because she like, you were born and raised here. Why would you want to go somewhere else? But like I said, you have to broaden your horizon. Who wants to just stay in the same spot their entire life? Like, you don't want to just stay grounded in one particular area when, yeah, idiots are everywhere. I agree. They are everywhere. So that's not something that can really get away from. We have to be able to do what it takes in our communities to help to get away from some of the things that's happening. You know, like we talk about all these killings, and I have seen a post like everyone always knows the person that got killed, but no one ever knows the killer. That's crazy. It's like we always know the victim, but nobody knows the person that did it. All up and down the timeline, you see RIP so-and-so, RIP so-and-so, RIP so-and-so. But somebody know who did it. But since we're so stuck on the I'm not a snitch, or I'm not going to be, the snitching, I don't know what to call it, but, you know, people hide behind that. I don't want to be a snitch. And, you know, they say snitches get stitches or snitches end up in ditches, or, you know, one of those sayings and things like that. But at some point in time, we as a community have to step up and speak up if we don't want these things to continue happening. Because if we let if a killer gets away with one killing, he gonna think he can get away with it again and again and again, and he probably just gonna keep doing it until he eventually gets caught. No one wants to say nothing. We had a tips hotline where you could be anonymous in what it is that you're saying. You even get rewarded if it leads to arrest. Not saying that's why you should do it. The reason that you should do it is because that could be any one of our brothers. That could be any one of our cousins. That could be, you know, and we're just not stepping up to the plate. We're basically allowing these things to happen in our community. We're allowing them to happen. You know, we don't really want to, you know, we don't step up. I tell people all the time that when we were talking about the snitching stigma one time, and they said, well, snitching is only if you're involved in the situation with the other person, and then and I guess you tell on the other person, that's what considered snitching is. But if you just know of a crime that has been committed and you let that knowledge be aware, if you tell the proper people, then that's not considered snitching. Now, I don't know whether it's here or there, because me personally, I don't care. I don't want you coming up in my brother. I don't want my brother to be at work and he got to worry at the gas station or something. Not saying that my brother worked at a gas station, but if he did, I don't want to have to worry about whether someone's going to try to come in and rob him and kill him. You know, like that's just not something that we would want to go through as brothers, as sisters, as parents. Like that's just not something that we should have to hold over our head. And no, we don't live in a perfect world, but we live in a world that is as perfect as we make it. And if we are continuing to let these type of things transgress, then they're just gonna progress and they're gonna get worser and worser and worser. And then you got people that say, "Oh, I don't want to live here. It's too much killing going on," or you know, it's too much robbing going on, or this and that. But why we have to dig into the reasons of why these type of things are happening. Why are people out here robbing? Maybe we need to start creating jobs, you know, for our people, or, you know, just helping or doing anything, being our part in the community. You know how the Black Panther Party, did you know the Black Panther Party started the WIC program? Did you know that? The WIC program that people still use today, women, infant, and children, that was started by the Black Panther Party because they wanted to help their community. Hey, Danita, they wanted to help their community and wanted to give back to their communities. So I have to challenge everyone that's listening today. What are you doing to be a part and partial of your community? What are we doing in these days and age? I know Brother Johnson, he has the neighborhood cleanups that go on, but how many of us get up actually go out there and help clean up our communities? Or do we feel that that's not our problem? Or I don't live in that community, so that's not my problem. But anything that affects our people in a negative way is our problem, because we are all one people. So if it's affecting one part of our community, then it should be affecting all of us. And until we get that notion that set in our mind, there's not going to be change. There's not going to be change. We can vote for whoever, we can listen to whatever, but if you're not actually taking part and actually doing your part, then you're not really doing anything. You know, that Notorious B.I.G. and I'm going to quote Biggie now, but there's numerous people that say that to be part of the change, you have to be the change. And I tell people this all the time. That's why I do a lot of things that ain't how you say it. That ain't how I say it. It was close enough. I'm paraphrasing. But to be a part of the change, you have to be that change yourself. We have to get out there. It's not enough for us to point our finger and say what so-and-so should be doing, or what so-and-so should be doing for us or shouldn't be doing, or looking for someone to do it for us. Because that's a lot of things when we have politicians come in today, but that's a lot of things. We depend on a lot of politicians to do stuff in our communities. They don't live in these communities. They don't really care. They can act like they care. They only care for your vote. That's really what it is. They only care for your vote. They're not actually out there getting dirty, cleaning up the communities or anything like that, So I shout out to Brandon Ellison and Amita Dupree, because I've seen a lot of the community forums that they've been doing lately and are actually out here with their people and actually trying to make a difference in the communities in which we live. And if we want things to be better, we have to play our part in making them better. We can't just sit around and talk about it. We have to actually put action behind it, and voting is part of that. So if you're not registered to vote, I mean, I guess it's too late now, but make sure the time that comes around for the next time to register to vote, that you actually do that. And if you are registered to vote, make sure you take action and use your voice on August 7th. That's coming up in the preliminary elections. Also, what else I want to talk about? Oh, we went to the George Washington Carver Museum in Diamond, Missouri. Did you guys know that George Washington Carver was actually born in Missouri? Did you know that?
I read it somewhere.
Yeah, he was actually born in Diamond, Missouri. And he's a very influential person on our communities here now, on the world, really. He made a lot of products. I had a picture, but he made a lot of products, edible and food and byproducts just out of peanut. Huh? Yeah, that you can eat, like peanut butter. No, yeah, no. Okay, yeah, Forrest said we got to take ownership of our problems and stop deferring everything to somebody else. And that's true. That is true. Because that's even when Obama was in office. A lot of people are upset because they say Obama didn't do anything for me. He didn't do anything for me or whatever. But it's like, why are you looking up to these people to do something for you? What are you doing for yourself? You know, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for your children?
Did you see what Trump did for Russia?
No.
Oh, no.
What did he do? I don't follow Trump, so.
Well, he took the side of Russia over the FBI and CIA intelligence. So he chose like Russia over what they said Russia was involved in doing it. They indicted 12 agents, and he said Putin told me he didn't do it. So I believe him.
I mean, of course Trump's going to do that. They helped him win the election.
Yeah, I know.
So of course he's going to take their side. Why wouldn't he take their side? They helped him win the election. Like they're part of the reason that he's in office right now. So, you know, of course he's going to do that. I wouldn't expect anything less of him. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't. Like, that's what I'm saying. These people live. See, we have how do I want to word this? Our expectations are, we expect a lot, and we have once you see, disappointment comes in expectation. So once you start expecting certain things from people and then they don't do it or don't live up to your expectations, that's when you fall into disappointment. You can't be disappointed if you don't expect nothing. I don't expect nothing more from that man besides what he's doing. Okay. And looking out for self. They talk about how he really commits treason, because I don't understand how he goes off on his own properties. Yeah. You're the president. You're not. That's like against some type of law or something.
We in a trade war, and he put tariffs, and then like China and stuff, they came back with tariffs, but Ivanka doesn't have to pay the extra taxes like everybody else has to pay. She's exempt from it. So yeah,
because she's white.
It's gonna be United States and Russia here pretty soon.
United States and Russia.
They're gonna be listening to everything. They're like, no, you can't say that.
Well, y'all say they already do that with their satellites anyway.
No, but pretty soon they're gonna be like, they're gonna send you a message like, hey, stop talking.
And what you gonna do?
I'm probably gonna stop talking, baby.
I'm not. They're gonna have to come kill me.
I ain't this.
I'm just saying.
I ain't coming up missing.
I ain't scared.
Like his car went 90 miles into a wall, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why you can't have them self-driven cars. As I told y'all, them cars gonna start driving y'all to places y'all don't recognize.
Once I make some money to do it, it's happening. Once I make enough money to give me a car to drive by itself, it's happening.
And you're gonna be pulled right into the concentration camp. They're gonna lock you in that mug, and you're gonna pull up there, and you're gonna know where you're going. You're gonna be right at the concentration camp. They don't care where you at. They got satellites in space, remember? Yeah. They don't care where you are. They can control you from anywhere.
I got some underground tunnels up in there.
No, but I definitely have been having a niche into getting more into the politics, but more so the local politics, because the federal, I don't feel like we have as much say over, as far as like the presidential and stuff like that. I don't feel like we have as much say over that as we would hope. Huh?
It's already chosen.
Yeah, like
who's next?
Yeah, like they we don't really have as much, but when it comes to the local elections and what we do in our own cities, then we have more of a say so when it comes to that. Forrest said the weird part about the Russia thing is, y'all can read his comment on it, is embracing all of these communist nations and alienating all of our Democrat allies. If people can't see the writing on the wall, they deserve what they get. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah, he's calling the what's it called, the European Union, the EU. He said he called all them foes, all them are enemies, and Russia, which is actually our enemy, he's on their side. So like,
what makes Russia our enemy?
They hacked our election for one, and they had a meeting in the White House, and they said they tried to put listening devices in there, and yeah.
How you know they weren't trying to help us? Well, not by putting Trump in office, they weren't trying to help us, but
no, they trying to get this to be Russia number 2.
What's wrong with Russia? Is Russia bad or something?
You don't? You don't watch the news at all?
No.
Oh,
News is propaganda to me.
News is propaganda. Word? Well,
yes, I ran by the same people. So once you got to understand that once you have control of something, then you can put out any type of message that you want to put out to the world. So therefore,
like different, yeah.
But they all ran by the same people.
Not necessarily.
How come not?
It's a few people that are in their house doing YouTube.
Well,
videos.
freelance journaling, okay, I can understand that. Yeah. But what I'm saying, when it comes to news.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, that, like, he's cool with the people. Yeah, what he's saying is he's cool with the people that, like, run their country dictatorship. You know, like, anybody that's, like, yeah, and that's what he's trying to do here when he says fake media, don't believe the media, don't listen to this, don't believe that. He's basically saying just get your news from me. And that's what communists.
Why can't he just be exposing it?
Who, Trump?
It is fake media.
Well, yeah, but that don't mean he's, what do you mean?
So if he's saying that it's fake media,
if somebody's like they're saying with him being say colluded with Russia, like that's a fact because 12 people got indicted and they got all the proof.
No, that ain't no. That's next show. It's a communist nation.
So yeah, like he's trying to turn this place into what North Korea is, what Russia is. Like Putin, and you said, why is Russia bad? Putin, he won he won the election again this year because he had what didn't he have the runner up killed, like the guy that was supposed to be, yeah, he had him killed and yeah. No, like it's all bad over there. And Kim Jong-un, you know, he's suppressing the whole country, and Trump, he takes those guys by the hand. You know what I mean?
I gotta look up. See, I've been out of school for a minute, so I gotta look up what this even is. So, what kind of nation are we? Democratic. Okay, we democratic. Okay, so like, that basically
like he's cool with all the countries that are dictators because he wants to be a dictator. That's what he wants to do. Dictators don't have to get elected. And look, remember he said we get in the World Cup in 2026, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll let you in the country." But like, even if he has 2 terms, he'll be out in 2024. So you know what I mean?
He's not gonna have no 2 terms. Well, I don't know. They might hack it again.
Like I say, hey, he might be the last president we see.
I doubt it.
Remember Rush Limbaugh was saying that. Remember Rush Limbaugh was saying that about Obama. He said he's gonna be our last president. He's not gonna. He's gonna get all the Black Panthers and take over. Yeah, I probably would have been down. I probably would have been with it. Like, I hate to say it, but yeah, I'd have been with it for the culture.
For the culture, do it for the culture. They said Trump wants to be a dictator.
No, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, he's aligned himself with all those countries because like he just wants to be able to say this and.
Okay, so this says a system of social organization in which all economic and social activity is controlled by a totalitarian state dominated by a single or self-portraying. Oh, okay. Yeah. I get it.
Where is Nelson? Was he in traffic in like Iowa?
I don't know.
He said I'm in traffic. Man,
I guess that would be a bad thing.
You guess it would be a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who the dictator was. Now, if it was me,
yeah, you'd be kicking people out.
If it was me, I think y'all be good. Okay.
Nah.
If it was me in charge, I think y'all would be good. Okay. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. And to me, it depends on the person that's in charge. If you just got any old body, then it could be a bad thing. But if you had somebody like me, then you know that might work out for your best interest.
We got to take her out somehow. We got to get rid. Yeah, we got to get rid of her.
Trump is not a communist. He is authoritarian. There's a significant difference.
Is that a comment? Where you see that?
What? Yeah. Y'all know I can't.
A comment?
Yeah, you don't see it right there. He is no. He said, "Hey, they feel me. They down with me being a dictator." Hey.
He said he would be a good dictator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got excited. I thought y'all was voting for me. You know, 2020 is on and popping. No, this man. I'm like, do you have to be? Well, I guess you don't have to be like a senator or anything like that to run for president because Trump ain't never been nothing, and he ran for president.
The thing that
oh dang, I ain't 35 though. I got 5 more years.
well, like it's rough because like you look at Obama and he had to be the best looking, the best speaking, the best background. He never, like Cat Williams said, he never owned a pit bull puppy. Like
y'all don't know that though.
Like he ain't never owned a pit bull puppy. like stuff never he had to be so clean cut. And then the exact next guy is he's not smart. He just white.
I think Trump is very smart.
Okay, yeah.
I for real. I get to that point where people say that he's so dumb that he's smart. First of all, it ain't no way that he could make billions of dollars and not be smart.
Look,
in
if you
some
do
sense.
The research, though, if you do the research, his dad died, left him some certain amount of money, and the money that he has now is less money. He just threw money at stuff, and he's been bankrupt like 10 times. Like it doesn't work. When you
I know people that found bankruptcy all the time.
That don't mean they ain't smart.
I mean, but they do it for smart reasons.
Well,
and not because they ain't got no money either. 50 Cent filed bankruptcy.
Well, but it's different. Apples and oranges.
How?
How what?
50 Cent filed bankruptcy.
Well, no, I
think he didn't want to pay child support. No, just like
that is what it is. But like Trump, he would put money into something and it wouldn't work, and he would file bankruptcy so he wouldn't have to pay the people. Is that the tardy? That's the tardy man there.
So he wouldn't have to pay people, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he didn't have to pay. Like, there's still people looking for money from Trump. Like,
okay.
he's like, you said that's smart, I guess. Like, he's just a bad guy. He born with the silver spoon. He didn't have to work for nothing. Just like his kids. Like, his daughter works in the White House. Why? Like, it's crazy.
I mean, her daddy the president. My daddy the president. I better be working in the White House too. Tell you right now, Daddy, you become president, I need to be Secretary of State. Something. No. Treasurer. Put me.
Yeah, he's bankrupt thousands of companies.
And he's bankrupt thousands of other companies too.
Like a lot of his.
But is that playing Monopoly?
Well, but like, if it is, like you're saying, like he's the president though. So
he wasn't the president then.
Well, but what I'm saying is that makes my point though. Like I said, if Obama would have done say one of the things that he's doing, it wouldn't have happened. But Trump is allowed to get away with just.
Rashid, you can't keep using these big old words I can't read. I don't even know what that means. Wealth accumulates wealth. When you're born a millionaire, it's difficult to not be one. Look at social mobility. This show covers too dense of topics to optimize its time for sound bites. Huh? I don't know. But I don't know. So yeah, wealth does create more wealth. You don't see Rashid Mbaye? I don't know. I see it on my comments. Wealth does accumulate wealth. That's why I feel like it's so important for us to create wealth for our own too. That needs to be a standard in which we do things. Hey, we're gonna go on break. So we're gonna go on a quick break real fast, station identification, and we're gonna come back with our guests of the evening. Okay. See y'all in a few. Oh, I can't hear anything. Okay, so we're back. So thank you guys for allowing us to take that little break, station identification break, real fast. Pay a couple bills. So we're here. You can see I've finally been joined by my co-host Nelson Neal here.
Baby, thank you for holding it down. Let me just say this too.
Iowa.
Whoever that was on 435, I really just sending up a lot of prayers and positive energy for you because that was a bad accident. But we here now. The real definition of we here now. Finally. Okay. We in the building. Shout out to everybody that tapped in. Appreciate you, T Baby, for holding it down. And
this is what I do.
That's what you do because you are the
my show.
Female Oh yeah.
Okay, so
well,
introduce I'm gonna allow our guest to introduce himself to you guys and let you know who he is and why we have him on our show today.
Well, thank you. But first, I'd like to congratulate T Baby and Nelson L on hosting a successful show. I want to tell you thank you.
Appreciate that, brother.
Appreciate that.
Certainly. So you and I have talked offline. I told you what kind of show it is. T Baby runs a pretty tight ship around here, but we are very spontaneous. We're here really just to get down to the crux of the matters, issues that affect us, the most. And those start with our politics, man. And
Absolutely.
So do your thing, man. We'll get into some questions, but let the people know who you are.
First of all, my name is Roy Tien, and it's spelled ROI, just like your return on investment. So I'll be your return on investment.
I like that.
And then mayoral election. My last name is Chinn, Chinn. I was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. What school did you go to?
I went to parochial school growing up, but I went to Central Middle School.
Okay.
Right here in the neighborhood.
All right.
From there, I went on to Northeast High School.
All right. And so you're familiar with these Kansas City streets, right?
Absolutely.
Make sure your audience, you tap in with some questions. Because I want to talk about the whole thing. We're going to talk about marijuana. We're going to talk about any issue that's going to affect the resident of Kansas City. Roy told me offline because, we had a conversation. He said when he wins, we win. So I want to know what's the definition behind that. If you win, we win. What does that mean?
When I become mayor, we become mayor. That means everyone eats. Right now, we have economic development that's not reaching people who need it the most. We have one of the worst crime cities in America. I'm not saying that. All the polls are saying this here. And almost every USA Today, everyone, MSN.
I like numbers. We like numbers, and we like to know where they come from. Right on.
We have young people killing themselves in the streets because we as leaders have failed to give them any ways to build positive self-esteem.
Right on. Okay. It sounds good. So let's get into some of the crux of it. What you and I talked about Kansas City being a Wi-Fi city. Why do we need Wi-Fi to be in Kansas City for everybody for?
Well, first of all, the United Nations back in 2000 and 2010 said that water, electricity, and having a cell phone is necessity.
Access to internet. That's right.
As well as access to internet.
Right.
These schools provide for people living in an urban area, and that's what we are. That's why I say when I become mayor, we become mayor. Everyone eats. In the inner city, you could give a student a laptop.
Right.
But if he doesn't have
takes
Wi-Fi,
it home,
you still have a problem. And Wi-Fi bills are not $10 a month. They're ranging anywhere from 100 plus to gain the speed that you need, access to have different mobile devices.
Mm-hmm. And
in most homes, you could ask any mother this year, you have a home with 2 or 3 children, you have 2 or 3 children with laptops or some sort of technology mobile device. They need a Wi-Fi line that's going to carry the information for them to succeed in school. So I plan on making Kansas City the first 100% Wi-Fi city. And we can do it because underground, we have what's called dark fiber, and it connects the entire city. It's just a matter of having the political courage and the political leadership, the political will to make it happen, and that's me.
So that will provide. So that it basically it'll be everywhere, yes. Not just McDonald's and the library.
That's right. It will be everywhere, and that's something we need.
Okay.
And that's a necessity. We're not asking for a handout. No one's begging here. This is a necessity in the 21st century. You need electricity.
If you want to compete with other major cities, you're going to have to.
We want to compete.
That's right.
Let's not look at the other major cities. Let's next door, Park Hill School District, they're doing it right. Let's look across the street to the Blue Valley School District. They're doing it right.
Okay.
So all around the metropolitan area,
It's happening.
It's happening, and they're doing it right. They're not doing it right in Kansas City. Our leaders have failed us. That's why we are suffering, because we're following blind leadership in Kansas City.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask
Yeah,
you.
Corville got a question.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what would be your top three, like for people to vote for you, whatever? What would be your top three things on your agenda? Like, say you get elected, day one. What are the first three things on your list?
I'm sorry, you're
Covell.
Covell and Mr. Chin. Covell, this election, and this is what I tell the haters, the news pundits, this campaign's not about me. It's never been about me. It never will be. It's about you. It's about every voter in Kansas City. And the voters have told me what the top issues are. So the top issues are more homes. We don't have affordable housing for working families in Kansas City. Just don't. So it's affordable housing. It's more homes, safer streets, and we all know what that looks like right now. Even the police department has experienced that there just recently. More homes, safer streets, quality schools. And when I say quality schools, the only adjective that should be in front of the word school should be quality. Because guess what? A lousy public school is the same as a lousy charter school. So I'm not taking sides there. I'm saying quality schools. So that's what the voters have told me as I've traveled the city. More holy schools, better transit. Just the other day, I was over speaking with the group down in Crossroads, and the father, who's a middle-class gentleman, he said, my daughter's graduating this year. I can't get her a car. He goes, you know why? And I said, why do you think? He said, the economy. I said, no, it's not the economy. It's because you allowed our leaders to sell you $1 billion rail system that's incomplete and doesn't service anyone right now. The trolley system right now, the most people that are using that are the homeless, because it's warm in the winter and cold, warm in the winter and then cool in the summer. And it is totally free. We don't have the money to buy the laptops because we have leaders in this city who are short-sighted. They're blind. And we bought $1 billion, transit system. Yeah. So better transport is what they want. And the last one, the fifth one, is more jobs. Because there's nothing that a good job can't cure. I believe there's no ill that we're facing right now in Kansas City that a good job can't cure. And as I'm talking to fathers across the city, no one's asking for a handout. No one's begging. They're saying, if you provide some of these jobs, we'll go to these jobs. We'll work these jobs. And then these fathers and mothers, they will take care of their children and do what's best for them. So that's the agenda that has been dictated to me by the people.
So you mentioned jobs, right?
Yes.
There's a big deal about this airport coming up. Who's going to get these contracts? Who's going to be working? When you're saying quality jobs, are you saying that you're going to use your position to be able to create those type of opportunities for our children, or even just young adults trying to make it in life to be in front of those type of quality jobs?
Absolutely. I'm saying that. I have an MBA, a Master's of Business Administration from a stellar school, Sterling School of Business in Arizona. And we need negotiators. We don't need more lawyers. We've got about 4 lawyers on the city council. They're all running for mayor. And this city sucks because of their blind leadership.
It's truth be told. You can say it.
So when you say contracts, let's go back to that. We have to dispel the myth. Okay, let's just stop the BS. Contracts. Last year, there was over $70 million worth of contracts.
That's right.
And African-American businesses saw almost zip,
Whole bunch of old
nada, nothing of that money. So let's stop playing games about, there's going to be contracts, because the people who need it work most, who aren't begging, these are people who have their licenses and the certifications for business. They're being skipped over and over again. Economic development in Kansas City has failed to reach the people who need it most.
You talked about housing. They're talking about an affordable loft downtown is $2,500, and that's affordable. And they got all kind of subsidies and incentives to come and build these domiciles, if you will, and then price them to where we can't even live in downtown or live in the unit. How do you correct that?
Well, first of all, let's call it what it is. I'm running for you. This
Okay.
is not about me. This is the ugly face of gentrification. So let's call it what it is.
Talk to me.
All right. Two people, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2 college students working at Hy-Vee, and I'm not knocking Hy-Vee. I've worked at Hy-Vee. It's a great place to work. I used to work at Hy-Vee part-time, and I got $10 an hour. But 2 college students working part-time at Hy-Vee should be able to afford an apartment in downtown Kansas City, and they can if it's $2,500. So here's my plan. Let me just help your audience see the picture here. The developers come into a town, the city council bends over, and they give them the land for pennies on the dollar. So these developers take the land for little or nothing.
Right.
Then they develop these condos or these apartments on them. Okay, let's say there's 1,000-unit building that they may have. The 1,000 unit all over Kansas City. I challenge anyone to call in tonight and call me a liar, debate with me. If you go to any new housing development in Kansas City, it's only about 5 to 10% occupied. You know the problem that creates? That means that developer who bought the land for dirt cheap now isn't paying his taxes to the city because he can't, because his building is only 5 to 10% occupied. So when I become mayor, I'm going to come in, I'm going to sit down with all of these developers, and I'm going to let them know I will try to hold down your property taxes if you make housing affordable in Kansas City for working families. So now that 1,000-unit building that's only about 5 or 10% occupied, now it's 80, 90% occupied. And that developer can pay his taxes. Okay. Now he can pay his taxes, and our families can move in.
So it sounds like a solid plan. You named off those things. I'm just trying to walk down them. Crime,
yes.
Right? So T-Baby was talking about murders in cities, things of that nature. You've been, from what I understand, riding along with the police,
yes,
in the cop car.
That's right. Every Friday.
So what's going on every Friday when you're in the cop car? What's happening? What are you seeing out here?
I'm seeing the needs out here. I did not want to be the candidate running for mayor who looks at reports. So I want to get firsthand. You know, I went to school right up the street to Central Middle. This is the show me state. I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the police department. I said, I want to do ride-alongs. So I'm the only person running for mayor who's done that. And I'm seeing that the police officers, for the most part, are trying to do their job, but they can't. Anything that's going wrong with the police department that you have at home, it's because of the failed leadership in Kansas City. Let me give you an example. The police department has handheld ticket writing machines.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having that, they could have had body cameras.
Right.
But no one's going to take responsibility. Not one person running for mayor is going to man up and say they failed.
We need to write more parking tickets, though, right?
They need more parking.
We need more parking tickets instead of body cameras.
We have a parking department.
Exactly.
That should be doing that.
Okay. I just wish we would have more time. We're running out of time here, so we
got enough in. They know what time it is, and
I
anybody can
wanted
share
to know
this.
about marijuana. I wanted to know about this firefighter. Like, you know,
we might have to have a second half to this. To the interview.
Well, Win with Chin for mayor. That's Roy Chin, ROI. Win with Chin for mayor.
All right, and we could talk about the dates of the. Make sure you're registered.
Real quick, when is the mayoral election?
Well, we've contacted the city clerk's office. She doesn't have a clue.
Right.
But no one downtown does.
Right.
I'm not the only person saying that. Just ask yourself, are you happy in Kansas City? If you're not happy with the leadership of Kansas City, I'm asking you. I'm not asking for your vote. I'm not asking for your money. I'm asking you to win with Chin for Kansas City mayor. And I'm out there on social media. You can find me everywhere, but it's next year. It'll be August of next year.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, real class. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, in the breast of one mother, have given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that binds you to live in unity. Prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other.
Peace.
Peace.
Dang.